Have you ever wondered about how different the world could be if communities weren't dedicated to making the world a better place? That's why organizations such as the YMCA have been a stepping stone in keeping a good percentage of the kids that are at risk out of trouble in recent years. If you're from the US, you probably heard of the YMCA. If not, there's a good chance you might be living under a rock because the YMCA has done a substantial amount for kids. There's a high percentage that you know someone who's definitely been helped by the YMCA because they have done so much outreach for a lot of communities. If you heard about the YMCA, you'll probably be able to recognize their logo from a mile away because it's so bright and colorful. The YMCA is a foundation. The YMCA Foundation is an organization that has provided a substantial amount of help to help better the communities and also just by helping a lot of underprivileged kids by staying out of the streets, allowing hang-up spots for the less fortunate, and etc. This organization is located in different places across the nation, ranging from low-income organizations and communities, trouble-ridden communities, but also ranging to high-class communities. Just to give you a little bit of an overview of what I'll be talking about, and I'll be going into more detail later on, I'll be educating you guys about the history of the organization, its purpose, and also how they continue to make the world a better place. The YMCA is an organization whose purpose was to instill core values such as responsibility, respect, honesty, etc. into the youth. They strive to educate the youth and also about these values that have been taught to them at a young age. As years have gone by, they've somewhat shifted from this focus and more so catered not only just to children, but catered to adults as well. The YMCA has done a great job adapting this organization into what it has become today. Even though it's been in places such as Detroit, Chicago, a lot of crime-ridden communities, they've definitely helped to try and lessen these crime-ridden communities. They've done a great job in creating situations for kids in these neighborhoods and trying to keep them off the streets. They clearly aren't able to help everyone, but even if it means helping a few kids off the streets, they are still accomplishing their goal. They try to help these kids so they can have a bright future, but also at the same time, they're trying to make sure all these core values are instilled inside of them. All this work goes back to one thing, and that's how the organization is what it became today. This organization was founded on June 6, 1844 in London, England. It started off originally as a group for Bible study as opposed to what it is today. It was one of the few organizations in this time period that were able to, bring together different social classes and religions and just help bring them together, honestly, at that point. At this time period, it was mostly run by volunteers because of the Civil War, and the Civil War took up a lot of time for people who were looking to get paid, so volunteers just helped out during this time period. This organization didn't really start kicking off until the 1980s, or 1890s, when they started putting up buildings in large amounts. When large amounts of the YMCA were built, that's when things such as gyms, swimming pools, summer camps, and etc. were put into motion. It also started off mainly as a men's-only facility, but then adapted over into letting women become a part of the organization by the 1980s. By the 1980s, they were able to adapt most of their ideas and instill these values into characters. By instilling these character developments into children, they were able to try and help keep them out of trouble during this time period. Regardless of what age you were, by the 1980s, they more so changed their focus from only focusing on children to everyone. All these moments are fundamental into why the YMCA organization is strong, but it's also essential into why the organization will continue to expand even bigger in the future. What this organization has planned for the future is to expand the amount of learning places that they have, renovate the facilities that they have, and also by doing this, they'll be able to create an outreach that's needed for selective communities, and also just make sure the communities are a better place in general. Also, if they're improving their operations, that means more money will be coming in, which also means that they can be renovating more places, which in then turns more money comes in. If they're able to renovate these places, that means it'll become more appealing to the eye for audiences, and that'll instill more people to want to come to their organization. Also, by renovating these places, that means there'll be more resources, and that'll give people more of a reason to join this organization. All in all, this organization will continue to do what it's been doing for a long time. It has done a substantial amount of work in neighborhoods that they're a part of and more to come. When looking back, the YMCA has accomplished a lot because of its history and also the purpose of its organization, as well as strive to make sure the future is a better place. I hope you just envision this real quick. A world where we don't have to focus on kids always just being in the streets, our children be able to like just live on the streets. Excuse me. So all in all, I just hope that you take something from this and just think about how you don't want your children to be growing up in bad communities. So organizations such as the YMCA, whose sole purpose is to keep them out of the streets. The YMCA not only develops character for children and elders, but also creates a hangout spots for any underprivileged kids. What I hope you take from this presentation is that I've informed you about the great lengths this organization has come to just to try and accomplish all it's done so far and somewhat inspire you to help them make the world a better place. Thank you.